I need me some cake for my birthday. This shit moist. Do like my shit every Thursday, one with the earthquake. Sweating this blood in my shit in the worst case.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of R&P Podcast, giving you opinions on topics you've never asked for. I'm your host, PLAX. I'm here with my co-host, Rick. Rick, how you doing today, man?
Steve, I'm chilling, honestly. It's a little later than what we usually do, I feel like.
Yeah, it's getting a little dark outside.
Well, you can't tell in the studio.
Yeah, we got the lights going, but
the official
it's
lights.
definitely getting dark outside. Yeah. But, Rick, what we got going on today, man?
Would this count as an episode, Steve, or is this something a little different?
Nah, I wouldn't call this an episode. This is definitely not an episode.
So is this our second interview?
Yeah, second interview.
Two interviews.
I
get two in a row.
I don't know. People seem to like us. I don't know.
Man, well, who is our extra special guest, Steve?
I'd like to introduce, ladies and gentlemen, Wave Williams. I'm throwing a round of applause.
How are y'all doing tonight? How are y'all doing?
We doing alright. How you doing?
I'm good.
I'm chilling. I came right off of work and just got in here and just was like, let's record this. So, I'm chilling.
Rick always grinding. He always
I wouldn't say that.
He always grinding.
I'm just do what I gotta do.
I've known Wade for a while now. Like I can say, he like family to me. So
any family, Steve, family mine.
Big facts, because Rick is also a brother of mine. I've known Rick damn near almost 10 years.
It's deep now.
It's kin up here.
Yeah, most definitely.
First day of high school, like literally orientation. The first day. We sat at the same lunch table that we would then sit at for the next 4 years of high school.
Except for when that nigga
broke us up. We don't count that. That's like a forced hiatus. Like we didn't separate the group.
Fuck Mr. Estrada.
Wow, you kept just saying his name. Yo, that's crazy.
The first time I ever got in school retention, or what was it?
A suspension or
in school detention. I slid a thing of chocolate milk to my friend, and he slid it back.
And that was it?
And you got detention for that?
Mic drop.
That's great. Wait, first off, y'all was wilding.
Man,
did it spill or anything?
No,
we got in trouble.
You got in trouble because somebody poured chocolate milk in the middle. Somebody poured chocolate milk in the middle of the table, and instead of cleaning it up like human beings, we all just got our books and then moved to other tables.
And then the nigga was like, you know what? You see where y'all at? Stay here.
Yeah, so basically imagine a lunch table about 15 people deep and then empty the next minute. Like it was really just
a pool of milk.
Yeah, just in the middle.
We gotta move, boys. We gotta move.
And he was like, wherever y'all, and then the nigga was like, wherever y'all at, just stay there. Yeah. And that's where we was at for the rest of the year.
No, because remember, so our lunchroom had basically an upper level, lower level, but they were the same numbers. So it was like 1 through, I think, like maybe 1 through 8 on the top, 1 through 8 on the bottom. We were top floor, table 4. Yeah. So when he broke,
don't mind them, they just wild.
Yeah, they wilding up there. They practicing, all the RKOs, all the rock bottoms. But so we were top floor, table 4. He told us
your candy ass.
Imperial Wrestling was above me.
Terrible. And what was it that? So he had us. He was like, "If y'all sitting here tomorrow, I'm gonna break y'all up." So we was like, "Well, we ain't gonna sit here tomorrow. What are you, stupid?" Mm-hmm. So we moved to the lower level, same number. We were just all sitting.
I remember that.
We were all just sitting at lower level table 4, and he was looking for us. Like, imagine a teacher walking up a set of stairs and ramps, just looking for a group of people that he barely knew. Like he was just hunting us, and he would catch some of us and be like, come here, and we'd be like, well, whatever, and then boys would hide out. I ran behind him, went to the bathroom, and came out like 20 minutes later.
That nigga, I just remember that nigga sending me to table 6 with like random people that I only had like one conversation with, bro. And I was just like, I'm gonna make these people my friends. I did just to be a dickhead. I'm gonna make this group here.
This is my new
friends.
It's gonna work today.
Yeah, and I worked it up, but. We got off track as we do a lot here.
It was a decent story. Everybody
heard a good little story. But this is an interview from my boy Wave Williams. Wave, what got you into music, man? You an artist. You a producer.
You was like family.
Well, they don't know.
You sounded like you didn't know.
You a rapper. You a producer. Just an all around artist. You also can sing a little bit. I've heard you sing. You can sing a little bit. What got you into music?
Alright, so I could only pinpoint it to the one memory that comes to mind, and that is I was downstairs in the basement when I was like 3 or 4. My dad was a DJ or whatever.
Okay.
And he used to make beats. All his friends be rapping and stuff like that. And I was singing on the hook. It was like my daddy, and that was like the first memory of anything
music wise. Yeah. You think it just stayed from there? I gotta say, if I was a rapper and my kid was singing the hook to the song, I feel pretty nice. I feel like that's like
that's top tier. Oh yeah, that's top tier.
That's generational right
there. That's top tier. Yeah, that's dope.
I don't know whatever happened to that song though.
It got if you find it, you gotta remix it.
I think it's on like some type of floppy disk because back in the 90s.
Yeah, right.
If you were to get that, remix it, and then the picture for the song be that floppy disk, that might go crazy. That would be single. Yeah, that might go crazy.
That's a fact.
It's just you as a kid singing the hook to your own song that you want now.
I can only imagine.
That would be crazy.
I used the picture that I was holding. Like I was like,
that would be crazy.
That'll definitely hit. That's a cult classic.
Yeah, that's some blueprint type.
So how old was you when you had that experience? Can you remember?
Well, we moved when I was like 5, so it was anywhere probably from like 2 to 4.
Damn! Wow.
But I kind of stayed away from music until my really like. I can't even say because it's like my mom wouldn't sign a permission slip so I could join band.
Why?
Back in like 4th grade, I don't know. I left it on the table. It was there.
I just never got signed.
I could have forged it. I did.
Well, you're a good kid. That's good.
No, I did a couple times.
Oh shit!
Just that time. I don't know. I missed that.
Did your parents get your progress report? They signed the bottom of it. Yeah. It's like that kind of looks like you. Well, if you really were, call them.
Because that's extra shit they got.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't really care. Unless you're bad. Then they want to see you
unless
cry.
you wild out.
Yeah. I had teachers that wanted to see me cry.
So...
It's true. Like they would do whatever.
Real quick, y'all. We gotta talk about Rick in high school, like one of these episodes, because teachers really didn't fuck with Rick, and he didn't even do anything.
Before we get back to the interview, I'll just say this, right? You can say that, it's whatever, but I did have 2 separate teachers tell me at graduation they never expected me to make it that far.
But you didn't do anything, though. That's the thing. Niggas just didn't fuck with Rick.
The one, I can understand why she was upset because I would do no homework and they get like hundreds on tests, which is the only reson I passed that class. Right. It was kind of like to show her like I can do the work. I just don't like
do homework.
Yeah, so the other one was JRTC and like I didn't really care about JRTC. Like,
what did they say? They didn't
expect me to graduate.
Okay. I graduated on a 65.
But no, the thing is, I graduated like
middle.
Right.
I
graduated like middle of the pack with Regents honors and stuff. Like I was good. I don't know why they didn't.
Top 10, wasn't you?
No, I think I was like in the 20s. Like
that's still pretty fucked. That was further than I was. I gave up junior year.
Top 20.
Yeah, but they only cared about top 10. But I was like top 20, top 15ish.
Once I got to junior year, 80s was my thing. I didn't give a fuck about nothing else.
This is a side topic. You think CP3 top 20 point guards of all time?
Yes, of course. Oh, especially if you catch his ring, that's top 5.
He got to definitely win this one. He definitely got to win this one. But either way, he top 5, top 10. Sure.
I put him top 5 if he wins this, top 10 if he don't.
I was gonna wait till the end, but I'm gonna ask you who you got. You got Phoenix and you got the Bucks.
We're gonna wait till the end.
Okay, I got wait till the end. The Sons of Ford.
Sons of Ford. I'm not rooting for anybody against a team who man's won a fight on camera. Like you can't root against that.
He did beat 2 niggas. And then in the parking lot area, more fans beat up more Nuggets fans.
Right.
Like the next game, more Sun fans beat up more Nuggets fans.
That was like, it's for real. Sons of Florida. We gotta catch your hands off and on the court.
Denver niggas ain't about it, bro. Denver niggas not about it.
They called the Nuggets. I never expect that.
If you from Denver, no disrespect, but I will think y'all about
the marijuana industry though.
Well, that's probably why they call the niggas high off their ass.
I'll give him that.
Stay out the way if you're smoking in a fight. Like, stay out the way.
Yeah, don't start beefing if you high off your ass.
Stay out the way. You just gotta be chill. Like,
okay, so
it's Denver vegan nuggets.
Eating them niggas. Okay, so I'm
peaceful
a
people. What do I do in this situation? Just take it to the head. Yeah, they just
no, but the different niggas started it though. They started.
Well, in the video.
Okay,
we don't know what happened. He did an interview, bro.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, which one? The dude who lost?
Yeah,
of course not.
He said he lost.
He not gonna go on TV.
He said he only got hit like twice or whatever.
Oh, the dude who lost went and talked about it.
Yeah.
See, look. That's an L.
First of all, he didn't get hit twice. He got hit at least 4.
He got uppercutted. It was like,
he got beat.
And I was like, dang.
Don't try to make it casual, okay?
And he decided to stop hitting man. Like he could have been continued to hit man, and he was just like,
he just kind of.
And it's something for it. And I was like, wow, that's.
And he beat his man's a little bit too.
He did catch his man's twice in the mouth. He was like, association.
Called him real
guilty. Yeah, it was like.
Like, oh, that's your boy?
That's how you ruin a friendship.
That's very tough.
Yeah, that's how you ruin a friendship, getting beat because your man's.
Yeah. They in the car like, bro, he always get me in some shit. Damn.
This is it, man. I can't do this no more. I can't take these hits.
Yeah, this is the third time I've got my ass beat this week.
Because of you.
It's Wednesday.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
I keep getting my ass worked because of you.
We gotta take a martial arts class or something.
Yeah, like we gotta take boxing together, man. We gonna be like this. Oh my god.
Kids karate classes.
I love this shit. I love this shit. I love doing this shit. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. We was talking about. We
on good time.
We was talking about why he got into music.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. So when did you start taking music, like, not seriously, but when you started doing it on your own? Like when you sat down and was like, yo, I want to rap or I want to produce.
I used to get into like freestyles with my friends and stuff like that. And one day, I was in the falls on Walnut smoking with my man Bama Fresh, and I think that was it. And we was just, passing a blunt, doing freestyles. And after, I don't know I think it was afterwards, Fresh, shout out Fresh the Poet, he's a fellow artist. He was like, if you really wanted to do this seriously, you could do it. Like, so that was like the first time that it was like, oh, like I'm just doing this for fun, like just shits and gigs, but like, okay, like I do have a story.
Yeah.
Like everyone has a story, and it's about finding out how to tell that story.
Yeah.
So that belief, just someone believing in me, just
that was enough.
Yeah, that was enough to light the fire to get
get you going.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes that's all it takes. Like your man's or a family member or whatever, just tell you like, bro, you really nice at this shit.
You might as well give it a full go.
Fresh the Poet, top 5.
We're gonna talk more about Fresh later on too. I got you. I got him more here.
How you feel about Air King? Yeah. Sorry. Shout
out my boy Air King, man. I haven't even talked to Air King in a minute. He took a little hiatus for real.
But you've been shouting him out.
Yeah, I've been shouting him out, but I haven't really gotten a chance to like sit and talk to him in a while. Hopefully we get him on the show eventually.
A little artist hiatus ain't bad. Sit in the lab in the
he might, honestly, that's scary because he might come out with some real super crazy shit.
He's just been sitting at home
just wilding out, just creating new shit. Yeah. Shout out my boy.
Wake up.
I already know he got some.
Yeah, I already know. He did. I think he went live on Instagram for a minute, for like 15 minutes, and motherfucker was like, "Oh, bro, what's good?"
We ain't heard from you.
We ain't heard from you. And he didn't even show his face.
We ain't seen no beats from you.
He didn't even show his face. He just was making beats.
That was it.
I said, "This nigga's a problem. He about to go crazy."
Boys was out there like, "Where them beats at?"
For real.
We really need them beats.
He said, "I need some beats."
Yeah, I need some beats. I got a project dropping in February. I need some beats.
Come on, please, baby.
I know. You know I'm good for it. Let me just get a beat. Just a quick beat.
So you said Fresh and a couple of your other friends told you had an affinity for rapping and shit like that, and that's what got you going. Then in 2019, you had an album called African. Am I saying it right?
Yeah. Either Afro King or African.
Afro King or African. Okay, and it's on Spotify. The link will be in the bio. I'll be in the description down below. Why I say bio?
I can't answer why you thought that.
Was that your first like songs that you dropped, or was that just your first like project album?
I will say the first single that I ever dropped is on Afro King.
Okay.
So that album is more so of, it's for me, more so than trying to obtain a certain type of like organizational like verse chorus. It was more so of just like creating with no boundaries.
Okay.
So just freedom, basically.
What made you think of that? What made you want to drop that first, like initially?
I actually had a whole nother album that I was going to drop. It was going to be called Welcome Home, The Sound of My Wave, which I'm still contemplating.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So if I ever drop that, that is the first album. Even though I dropped African
first, that would have been first. Right?
Welcome Home is the first album. I may drop that last though.
So you're doing some like cryptic shit, like you dropping shit out of order, and it's like a big. Is it gonna be like a big overarching story, or is it just you got? It's just your music.
It is going to be like a collection. Okay. That's even saying album. Like I remember when I first started making music and stuff like that, I wanted my body of work to be called a collection, like a collection of music.
Yeah, we talked about that too.
Yeah. But yeah, that was, it kind of set the tone for everything, just to see where I was at as an artist. I still like the majority of the songs, listening to it 2 years later. It definitely gave me a view of what are my weaknesses and my strengths, and stuff like that. Like, but the African is definitely like just freedom of creativity. And I am actually making a follow up. I'm taking. I named it this, and it looks like AFRKNG because I wanted to take the vowels out. There's an A in there, so I ain't taking it out. It
would have looked like Pharrell King or something like that.
So the follow up album is going to be called Free King.
Okay.
I get Pharrell King, however you wanna.
However you interpret it is what you. Okay. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. That's on the way.
Okay, so it will be a follow up to this one, basically. Yes. Okay.
Great.
So yeah, that is kind of crazy. And his names for his project is solid too. So that was 2019. You said that was your first project, and one of your first singles was on that project.
Yes.
We talked about how you started. You was singing the hook on your dad's song, and then you was rapping with Fresh and those boys. What are some like musical and just general inspirations for you as far as like your creative process?
Okay, I'll start with my name, Wave. Okay. I was in middle school and I went to this barbershop on Niagara Street. It was called, I can't even think of the name right now. But this man that worked there that gave me the cut was called John Gross, and he used to DJ with my dad. And while he was cutting my hair, he was like, yo, if you ever become a DJ, your name is going to be DJ Waves, because, you know,
at the time, Wave.
Like, it's a tradition that DJs don't get their names, but it's given.
Somebody else give them.
Okay. Yeah, so that's why I inherited the Wave Williams, and then I just put my last name.
Okay, that's dope.
That's
beautiful.
Nicholas Williams or Nick James, because my middle name is James.
Nick James. Fire.
Nick James is kind of nice.
Shout out to James. That's crazy. That would be great. Do you have any like artists or that are out that you gain inspiration from, or is it just like you just do your own thing and just go with the flow?
I will say, you said, what? Can you repeat the question?
Are there any artists that's like, I guess you could say mainstream? It could be underground too that you gain inspiration from, like with your music and your style.
I listen to a very broad spectrum of music. I will say maybe my main inspiration is being in life and thoughts that just arise in my head while I'm in life.
Okay.
Music that I listen to, I'll name a few off the top of my head. I know, Jay-Z. Shout out Conway, Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick. I like Janae Aiko.
Oh yeah.
What's her name? Alicia Cara.
Yeah.
I like all different times. Sam Hunt. He a country singer.
Okay.
What's his name? Shout out Kane Wave.
Shout out Good Neighbors Club and shit,
Can't forget now. It's Lauryn Hill. I had to buy her album when I was going through a significant period of just dark times. Her album helped me through it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Miseducation?
Yeah, oh yeah, come on. Let's go there.
Beautiful.
But yeah, I like a lot of music. I like rock music.
Yeah.
Come on to the podcast.
Yeah, right. I don't even know what I would do. If Lauryn Hill was on the podcast.
Oh my god. My grandfather met Lauryn Hill.
Really?
I forgot where, but if I can meet Lauryn Hill,
I probably faint. Shit.
we're gonna have a good conversation. Good conversation. Cause she was out here in the streets back in the day, just speaking the truth.
Yeah.
Speaking these facts.
And then transitioned into her mainstream career, and she just popped off from there. I heard she working on some stuff. Hopefully, we get something from her.
Even a feature from.
Yeah, even just a new verse, anything. A spoken word would be nice.
Her live album. It's a song in there I really love. Is A Peace of Mind. I'm gonna find my peace of mind.
Oh yeah. I heard
it's heavy.
That. Yeah, that is
I don't know if I heard that one.
I heard that. I heard something.
It's a great song.
I'll check it out.
So you rap, but you also produce. How did you transition into producing, making beats, and mixing and mastering and stuff like that? How did you get into that?
The first time I ever tried to make a beat was middle school on Fruity Loops. It was called. And
humble beginnings.
I gave up. Never did it. I didn't do it until I lived on 9th Street with my mans, T Wayne, Bama, Pooh. My man Gadget was there, and we was all just chilling, smoking. Gadget was the producer. Fresh was the rapper. Gadget would also have other artists come in rapping, but he'd be making beats every day.
Yeah.
So, I make beats on Logic Pro, but seeing him, the way you seeing the
process,
the surface of making beats. I had a MacBook, so I had GarageBand and just tried to make a beat, and it was alright. So, and then also, I would say I've had a job less than I've had no job more than having a job.
Okay.
So, I was kind of forced in a position to make beats because I wasn't going for the free beats on YouTube and stuff like that. So, and I wanted to develop my sound and So I stopped listening to music for a really long time.
Ooh, okay.
Just so I wouldn't, because it's easy. It's so easy to just hear something and then just have it in your subconscious.
Yeah.
And exert it onto the song. So I may do that again sometime, but I really enjoy listening to music and just supporting a lot of people, a lot of local people.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to the Buffalo kids and the Falls kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I usually hear a lot of artists try to stay away from I guess in the period of when they're creating, stay away from a lot of music, even music they like, because you just don't want to accidentally pull too much inspiration.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden you saying a flip on a verse you heard, and then it's
or cite your works.
Yeah. You could cite it too.
That'd be different. People don't do that. If you legitimately, I don't want to say steal, but legitimately
if you Drake, you steal.
On one song,
Drizzy, he blew up off of that, so I guess it's about to be normalized eventually.
Big Soulja. Stealing from Big Soulja.
For real, Big Soulja. Stole his whole bird.
He did though. They played it back, and it was exactly Big Soulja.
If he paying the man,
he wasn't.
He wasn't. How do we know? How do we know he ain't?
I guess
sliding some.
I guess we know.
Yeah,
If it's a mutual agreement, then
but if he paid him, I don't think Soulja Boy would have went on the Breakfast Club and
talked about
Drake.
What was the other song he took from? It was an older song where he literally took
it was like a
whole
90s joint.
Yeah, it was like a whole verse.
And he just changed the cadence.
Yeah, he changed the cadence. It was word for word the verse, and I was like, I know he ain't paid for that.
I mean, Drizzy, if you want to come on a podcast and explain and discuss with us why
we're really close to Canada.
Yeah, we are very close.
Really close. We'll go over to Canada. Yeah. I got a passport. I don't know.
I'll swim if we got Drizzy on the podcast. I'll fucking swim.
Especially growing up in the LimeWire era, Drake. I bought Drake's album, Views, and I bought Lauryn Hill's album, and I bought, and this is a recent. In the past, this was 2017, 2016. But I bought 444 bootleg. Looking out for the homie, man. I support you.
I think Jay-Z, we should have him credit.
Yeah, I might just buy Tidal membership.
I will say this. I don't know if it's Jay-Z's PR people or not, but me and our boy Angel, his rap name is Mike Ange, we did a remix to
Story OJ?
No, what's the joint with Eminem? Fuck, I forgot the name.
There was a song with Eminem on.
I think it was called Renegade. No, not on 444.
Renegade.
Renegade. We did a remix to Renegade.
I think I heard that. I think you played a little bit of that.
Yeah, but I took my verse to that and made a new song. The verse I did for that, I made a new song. But we tried to upload the remix. And on SoundCloud, and something that I've never seen happen before. SoundCloud said no.
Oh really?
They just straight up
They're
said
not messing with
that. They straight up said no, you can't do that. And I was like,
this remixes to a ton of songs.
Yeah, I was like, it's just a remix.
Well, the thing is though,
and we wasn't making money.
With SoundCloud is that they're trying to get really legitimate now. Yeah. So I could see them starting the whole rollout of that's copyrighted, get that out of here. Yeah. At the age of the SoundCloud, I can put whatever I want on here, whatever remix or something, or whatever on a verse to a beat I don't own, and it can blow up. You might not make money off of it, but it can go. That's over. And I think all you got is YouTube now, and then YouTube, you just not. Well, YouTube will let you post it, but you just can't do anything.
You're not gonna get it.
They'll still put ads on it.
Yeah, they'll put ads on it, but you ain't gonna get no bread.
Ain't that nasty? Where they be like, you can't make money off this, but we gonna throw ads on this video that's doing really well.
So I would assume that Jay-Z and Eminem are making the money off of the video.
You would have,
because I don't know what type of system they use, but they can hear the beat.
Yeah.
And so it goes to whoever writes
or whoever made the beat.
Whoever has the rights.
Yeah, whoever owns the song.
In the way of music, but they'll demonetize was usually what they. Well, there's two different things. So with a beat that's not yours or with content that's not yours, that'll get flagged by whatever party that is that own it, and they'll get the ad revenue money and stuff. But YouTube also does demonetizing, which is basically like if you curse, like when we put this stuff up, if we ever do put numbers on any of these videos, we're never gonna get ad revenue from YouTube. It'll come from third party
because of swearing.
Because of swearing,
don't you have to like
you can age restrict it.
Yeah, you have to
which I do.
But even then, they'll still demonetize it because of swearing. But then that money is in limbo.
I will say this though.
Somebody getting that money.
It's this group called R&P. They like YouTubers and shit like that. Mm-hmm. They successful, so it's not really a shout out. They don't need me to shout out to them.
They can shout us out.
Yeah, they can shout us out. Duke Dennis, Agent Zero, all y'all niggas, please shout me out, bro.
Kai
Sinat, all y'all niggas. Yeah, so them niggas, they curse and wild out and talk about holes and all that shit all the time, and they be getting their bread off of
they said you or
granted they're very popular, like they all so like
maybe
came up through YouTube and shit,
maybe if you make a deal with them like then it's not like ad revenue by the system but ad revenue from YouTube
because they got a deal with YouTube
that could also put up disclaim content, but that money for stuff like that's in limbo. Mm-hmm. Like even if you were to put a song up, I think they're a little bit whatever about music because that's an expression, but even then some songs can get demonetized. Mm-hmm. If it gets demonetized and let's say it does numbers and they put like ads on the beginning and the end of the either the music video or just the audio that you're putting up with like visual, nobody knows where that money's going. It's pretty much probably just staying in YouTube's like pocket. Like they're still getting the companies that are paying for the ads are still paying YouTube. It's just you're not getting your percentage anymore.
I will say this though, YouTube does. YouTube does, like if you start doing numbers, whether they demonetize you or not, they will contact you though.
Yeah, of course. Well,
they do contact.
They want you to be in their pocket, so they'll be like, "Hey, yo, you want to partner real quick? I know you want that gold play button."
Actually, that could be what it was. Why they still get paid on.
You want that gold play button? That would
PLAX.
PLAX.
Yeah,
I know PLAX needs some PLAX.
Yeah, I do. I would like. I do have. I do have 2 YouTube channels. Obviously the R&P Podcast, and then my own personal channel. I would like to get PLAX.
Check that out.
Really use that one.
Yeah, I am slacking on skits. I'm very much slacking on skits, but I will get back to it, man. See, I actually got one that I'm gonna do after this episode.
Is this your interview?
This man was crying because Brooklyn got knocked out.
Oh yeah.
Had the Suns jersey ready.
I told him.
Sons of 4.
I told him when Brooklyn was going that he should have just rooted for. If he rooted for Atlanta would have won, and it would have been Suns versus Atlanta, and then I would have been like in pieces on who to root for.
Well, first off, Rick is the token ATL nigga. First of all, I'm not.
You told ATL?
No.
That's what my family is.
Yeah.
Currently though, like, and I'm going there. I'm going there end of this month to visit them, but that's where literally all my family, at least on my dad's side, is all, and my sister, as a matter of fact, is all in Atlanta. But I was just like, I had to root for Atlanta after they sent home the Knicks, and then the way they sent home the Knicks. Like after Trae Young got spit on, and then he sent them home and just stood in the center and just said, "Hold this." And like that's the most.
You get spit on, you have to.
You gotta go crazy.
Retaliate in some way or form.
He decided to send him home,
and he didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing about the fans.
He never did an interview on it.
Yeah, no,
he never spoke ill on the dude.
Professional.
Yeah, all he did was like, well, if you want to do that, I'm gonna just send your whole city home. Mm-hmm. And then he sent New York home. To say that New York probably was just ecstatic to be in the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
and. Barring maybe if they didn't do that and Randall played the way he was.
Randall did it.
New Yorkers was acting out.
Yeah, they was wild.
I heard some of the interview. They was just out on the street interviewing people. Oh my god!
It was just yelling fuck Trae Young.
They had on like Spider-Man.
Yeah. New York Spider-Man was saying Trae Young, come out here, we jump you or some shit like that. Like
I respect basketball I respect basketball. Period. So I like to see everybody thrive. Yeah. I just enjoy it. So Trae Young had to retaliate in some way.
Yeah, he put them.
That was the way.
Yeah, he put them.
And I read this, and we're gonna continue on. But I knew Trae was the real deal. Like no disrespect to the Hawks, I knew Trae was the real deal when they packed up Atlanta like that. I mean, when they packed up Philly like that.
Yeah, no,
I knew it was like, yeah.
Boys was saying Philly going home.
Yeah, I thought Philly in 4.
And Trey was like,
for sure.
Philly?
Yeah.
He was like,
with Ben Simmons.
and B, like, no, everybody, like, I swear, if maybe they had I feel like if they had a stronger big, maybe a stronger forward.
Capella just not a scorer.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
I feel like if they had like a DA on like the Hawks, they would have sent the Bucks home.
Yeah.
Because he was still scoring.
Because Capella's a good defender. Mm-hmm. And he catches lives and he gets rebounds. It's just like you can't give it to him in the post and he's going to get you a bucket. That's not going to happen. So it's down to niggas shooting, and they were shooting.
The thing is though, like, so they were shooting. Yeah, with the Bucks game, right? It was the first game Atlanta took it. Everybody was surprised, right? Mm-hmm. Then the Bucks came out and thrashed them in the second game. It was like 102 to like 80 something.
Yeah,
like they put him in
hurt after that.
I think he wasn't on his A game. Yeah, I think he might have had like a leg injury.
Did he have an ankle injury?
Yeah, I think so, right? Yeah. But then literally all the games after that were close. It was like, I think the next game after the blowout was, I think it ended 98-94 Bucks, and I was like, if they doing that after a blowout like that, I swear, if they just had one more dude who was willing to go in his bag, they would have sent the Bucks home. Because Giannis got hurt.
Honestly, you give them like a nigga like Zach LaVine, who's just wasted in Chicago. He averaged 30 in Chicago for no reason.
Did he even get an All NBA?
I don't think so. Because the team sucked, so like you can't really give it. But he did average 30 points.
Yeah,
him to the Hawks would be kind of crazy.
It would. His colors would be turned up. Yeah, of course.
They already turned up.
They already turned. They like, well, after this one, we only expecting the moon. Like we expecting to go to the finals.
They only need to add pieces. They don't need to really subtract much.
Nah, they're not.
Because that was a.
I would, because I don't know if LaVine I don't think his contract is up. I would trade niggas like Cam Reddish and shit like that, like package some niggas up to get Zach LaVine.
I can see that.
Like I like Cam. Don't get me wrong, I like Cam Reddish, but like for Zach LaVine,
imagine Lakers still had their core. Like
Julius,
Julius, Russell, and Ingram.
They would have won.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But LeBron, he not patient enough.
For the young dudes, he can lead, but he at the age where he can't lead like from the dirt. Like,
this is the first time I've seen that nigga breathing heavy on the bench.
Oh yeah, well that's
this season.
That's what's going to happen when you're 36 playing 48 minutes.
Yeah,
think about it. He played the most games last season.
Yeah,
right. What I think they had like a 72-day break.
Yeah,
and then he had to go back into the season.
Yeah,
do it all again.
Yeah.
And he got hurt.
36, same age as Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Which he needed. This is a well-deserved break.
Yeah,
LeBron James, for real.
I mean, I don't think he wanted it, but
he didn't want the break. If it was up to him, he'd be working in the dirt.
Yeah, he definitely.
That might not be, but you know.
But this next year, you never know. You never know. You're 19.
Ooh, I don't know. I feel like LeBron gonna be on a mission, but I feel like after this L, I feel like he's just like, you know what, whatever happened.
Well, he's trying to stay in the league so he can play with his son. That's his goal. Is play with his son.
Yeah, like Bronny probably gonna be. He's not like super dominant, but he's a very good passer. He's a great defender.
Think of the
put that on Bronny.
No, he's not. No, he's not like.
But I'm just saying, you're already going into a shadow. Like he got to produce, because if he don't produce, he's gonna have a terrible time.
Okay, listen, he's not going to be a superstar motherfucker. He's gonna be a very good.
He can't be the next generation LeBron. He got all the tool
because
he got the genetics.
We gotta
let him walk his path. I feel like it may be an easier road, because I feel like we've learned to not put that much pressure. Like, not as much. Like, Zion Williamson had a lot of pressure, but it wasn't like we didn't expect straight from the jump.
The Pelicans did.
The Pelicans,
of course, but
the Knicks would have if we went to the Knicks.
But
that would have been bad.
LeBron going into the league.
Yeah. Well, that's different. He was already producing at a level.
First game, he got 24, 8, and 7.
Yeah, like that's a crazy debut. And then from there, you know, he dragged a team that
from garbage.
And I feel like
shout out to my cousin Larry Hughes. He don't know he my cousin, but I know he my cousin.
Can you claim him without him knowing that you claiming him?
I don't know. I just
family. Technically, we all related.
Yeah, that's true. That is very
technically.
Yeah, but do you really want to think about that all the time? Sometimes that could be like a terrible thing to come to a realization of, like that everybody's family in some way, shape, or form.
You said that's over. I mean,
like sometimes that could be like a weird thought to have.
What, the incest part of it?
No, well, yeah.
Even past that, it's just like
some people are disgusting though, and you'd be like, wow, like I could possibly be closely related to someone who was disgusting.
I mean, yeah, that's everyone's own opinion on who's disgusting and who's not.
Yeah.
Like, what defines disgusting?
Alright, we're not.
We're not gonna do it.
Some people think clean, well-groomed toes is disgusting just because it's toes.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there, but I'm talking about boys who use the bathroom and don't wash their hands. That's nasty. That's just nasty all around.
If you're not touching nothing.
Well, I meant more so personality. I didn't mean.
So we all mean different things.
Yeah.
So
hygiene is a totally different conversation.
All right, no. This is the last thing I'll say on hygiene, right? What is the level of? We're way past the interview. It's hilarious.
I might cut this up. This might be 2 things. Like, this might be an episode.
Hilarious. But what is you're not touching anything? Because at the end of the day, right? Like depending on even what.
Kick the door open. Kick the door open. Boom.
Yeah.
Whip it out. Bow.
But what are you touching to whip it out? You touching like the hem of your pants, or like depending on what draws, but like you know that's been at your waist. That's sweaty, and then even depending on how you put your shit back in, that you know.
Are we discussing like
sweatpants? Okay, I'm saying sweatpants. I wear primarily sweatpants.
I wear jeans, so I've been thinking like you fiddling with the button.
Jeans is a little tricky.
Yeah, fiddling with the button.
You gotta zoop.
Yeah, you messing with the zipper. You're pulling down the drawers. I'm just saying like. I'm just saying, if you use the bathroom,
unless you take an S.
If you use the bathroom, right?
Wash your hands.
If you're using the bathroom, I feel like you should just soak the water up, just regardless. Like it's just
you may be getting more germs doing that than not doing it.
As long as you understand that, obviously, this is how I view it.
If you grab that handle.
You don't know
crank it to flush it. That's
well, I don't touch the handle. If you touching the handle, wash your hands. That's true too. I just wash my hands regardless. But I view it like this, right? Even if you think about the most touched places in the bathroom, right? If you think about the handle to get in or get out, right? Mm-hmm. Like the door handle. If you think about where to flush it, if you're at the urinal or in the toilet, right? Mm-hmm. Or even if like
karate kick that junk.
Yeah, like like people say like, oh, the sink's the nastiest place in the bathroom, but I'm like. At least I know the people who are usually at the sink is trying to wash it in their hand.
Like, where are they coming from? They're turning on the knob, touching the soap.
That's what I was
just touch their balls.
The soap dispenser.
The soap
dispenser.
But the soap dispenser.
The dirtiest person.
But the soap dispenser is putting soap onto the hand that just touched the soap dispenser. Like I had never touched the soap dispenser.
And you should be immediately washing your hands.
Yeah, like.
So if you go into the bathroom and touch nothing but your pants, then what? You should touch that germed up soap dispenser for the sake of your and society standards of cleanliness.
If you're using the bathroom, I just feel like it's just like if you can account for your hands at every moment of the time you're in the bathroom and you know you didn't touch anything, then walk out the bathroom free and clear. Like that's on you. If you finagled the doorknob in a way where you didn't have to touch it, or finagled whatever, so you didn't have to touch any surface but your pants to piss, then yeah, you don't have to wash your hands. Even then, because pissing like the way a urinal is, or unless you're at a toilet, then that's a whole different thing. But at a urinal, Depending on what level it's at, it's doing spray back. So that can catch
splashback.
That can catch your hands.
No, you gotta hit it at the curve. You gotta hit the curve.
You should, but no human is 100% accurate every time. So you should always just account for the spray back. It's catching you.
Must have never seen my free throws.
Well, at that point, like, I don't think that translates to the porcelain, but if it does, Steph Curry a pissing, then you do what you gotta do.
Steph Curry like always hits the lid when he pissed, but
like he hitting bank off piss shot.
Yeah. He just don't aim correctly.
That's a nasty thing for
you. Know that nigga blind, right?
He got the right contacts.
My friend has glasses, and when he hoops with no glasses, he told me he just look at the orange. But that man can hoop.
That's a
he could hoop. So I'm like,
that's crazy.
It might be a thing.
Not
maybe I'm looking too hard.
You focus in. It's
like the general range.
Yeah.
So we're here for an interview for Wave Williams.
We got the majority of them. Where we at?
The majority.
We like right here, right? Right here.
Nah, you way too far.
No, because you was jumping around.
We right here.
Right there.
Go ahead.
Watch this. Right? So as a rapper, right, on the rapper side of what you do in music, how do you feel about performing, like live shows and whatnot?
I have some strengths and I have some weaknesses. I have some ideas that I have not followed through with performing, just for the reason of haven't created the songs that I'll be able to perform the way I want to put on a real show.
Okay.
Like me being, I'm gonna have to go through this period of time where I sit down, formulate like just, I guess you could say, like a choreographed performance.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In a way that would be like
different.
Truly entertainment.
Okay.
And the songs I'm making now is more so, like with Afro King, it was more for myself, not really performance, or like I wasn't really focused on anything else. The music I'm making now is more geared towards dedicating to just being from New York and just the inspiration of New York music that I grew up on. That's what I'm doing music now in dedication to New York hip hop.
Okay.
So
you're not catering to the performance aspect of music.
Not as much. There's maybe, I could count on one hand how many songs I know the full lyrics of. My own songs.
That makes sense.
There is something to say about a good verse and a solid hook, though. Like, everything doesn't have to be theatrical. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like we performed at Low Africa a lot and shit like that, trend up shit like that.
Well, yeah, we began it in.
Yeah, we get it. Like, I feel like people still do enjoy the solid song, like just a solid verse. Like, even if you just up there rapping. Yeah. If you speaking and saying your truth, I feel like motherfuckers are still.
Yeah, I feel like they feel. And then a lot of people when you do shows, like, they like B-sides. Like,
yeah.
I guess in terms of like a up and coming rapper or like an underground dude, like what counts as a B-side. But at the end of the day, it's like there's songs that you made that would fit a performance, but then there's songs that you made that spoke to the audience enough for them to be there for you. So at least from
facts.
At least from like an audience perspective, because that's the only perspective I can give. I'm not in music.
Break to the URL.
I'm not a battle rapper either.
We're still working on that.
I will say this is more so of a perspective of where I can see myself at, and rather than where I'm at now.
Okay.
Like I'm trying to go all the way with it.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Shit, might go Broadway with it.
Ooh,
like having an actual like.
Okay, I thought you meant the street.
Like you know how y'all talk about a story, like having an actual
performance.
Okay. Yeah. Like
okay.
Entertainment. Like
Yeah, I got your whole show.
Instead of just standing up there and just doing what you
my shit. Like,
yeah, I get what you're saying. I get you.
Let my balls hang. Yeah.
Facts. used to before everything got shut down and shit like that.
Shut down? Why did it get shut down, Steve?
Something called the Rona.
Niggas didn't know how to wash their goddamn hands.
Full circle. We always come full circle. Don't we always come full circle, right? We always come full circle.
What's that?
Said that one motherfucker that kicked the door.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have kicked the door that day.
Yeah. He thought he was clean.
How do you feel about putting on your own shows? Because you've done that a lot. You
live?
and Coda, your own live shows. You and Coda was doing that a lot at a period of time, but then
I would be very willing. I would just need the space.
Okay.
To be able to do that. Cause
actually, Trend Up is back doing shows. That's what
doing
Gio
live
told
shows.
Me. That's what Gio told me. I just ain't really got the time to do something.
It's just about preparation and execution.
Big fact.
Yeah.
Has the pandemic affected you in your career at all, or has it just been status quo for you?
Well, I had a Corona kid, so
that's a big move right there.
Because I mean, when everything was shut down and stuff like that, it's like that Netflix.
That Netflix that chill.
Yeah, that Netflix was there.
That Netflix that
Disney
chill.
Plus was there.
Disney
so we was just
Disney Plus
chilling.
Disney Plus and Cup.
Yeah, that Netflix and chill got ill.
I was.
Now you got a baby.
Yeah.
We were kind of just in the house, looking after my aunt. Just not. Like we was just living. So
shit happens.
Career wise, Corona hasn't affected me.
Yeah.
We was doing shows like every month. We was getting Coda and myself were gonna gear up to actually start hosting shows every month. So I guess that affected. I totally forgot about that. So that affected.
That's what I was getting into.
Yeah. It affected us in that way. I will say.
I was doing shows every month.
Yeah.
We were going to
Coda shows was crazy.
I was in your bag.
Your shows was crazy too, man.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, I was at the one joint, just handing out pizzas, sodas.
Rick was great on the concession.
All I did was hand out slices.
Everybody loved him.
Nobody talked to me outside of let me get a pepperoni.
You got a cheese.
And that was right before COVID got crazy in New York State. And even then, I brought the gloves.
Shit got shut down 2 days later. Everything was shut down.
Yeah. I think it might have been like the week that Corona was getting serious. I had a plane ticket to LA. I was gonna go to LA. I had a one way, so I missed it by 10 minutes. So it was a big reason why
Damn.
Life works the way it does.
Yeah, you would have been out there.
Yeah,
You
would have been stuck. Yeah. And they shut down. Like they wasn't doing shit.
Well, the airport shut down. LA was trying to. Well, they had shut down for like 14 days. Like you couldn't go outside unless you was getting groceries type shutdown.
Right.
Shelter in place type shutdown. But
then they started wilding out.
Yeah, after that 14 days, they was like,
fuck it.
Yeah, where we at? Like fuck it then. And then
that's why their numbers was up like that.
Yeah, they was going crazy out there. But the beaches, they was trying to continue living how it was before, and it mostly worked.
Good vibes, man.
Good vibes. Come on, bro. Just drink the sativa, bro.
You said drink the sativa. Yo, they got some.
They got lemonade. They got infused lemonade. They got ice cream out there.
Lemonade.
They got all of that.
I love lemonade.
I the same. Every time.
I love lemonade.
So you said you had a Rona baby, so that was a big change for you. A Corona kid.
Yeah.
I heard they was built different too. I heard Corona kids was built different.
She's a very happy child.
Well, that's good because the kids I be seeing on TikTok be like hitting their parents and shit. So
she be grabbing my lip.
That was his TikTok
kid. TikTok kids are different.
TikTok kids is just different. If you put your kid on TikTok, it's for a reason.
I guess.
They're not normal kids.
So has fatherhood changed you in any way, or have you just?
It has given me knowledge that I would not have gotten had I not had a child.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's fair. Yeah. Some of the things that I've learned are humans know what they want right from the start.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about teaching them about the world. It's about learning them. It's about parents learning their children. Because, we have senses.
Yeah.
We will learn the world, in
own,
good time. Yeah, it's about us learning our kids to see how they act and react to the things that, they're experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
So you could guide them to being
benefits them.
Yeah, to being their most self.
Okay.
Rather than what I want them to be.
Okay.
And I think that's something that I should definitely adopt a little bit better, because sometimes I'll find myself wanting Shida to act a certain way.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and that's not her.
Yeah, that's,
and you just gotta be okay with the
you gotta be okay with the person that they become within reason.
Yeah, like there's discipline, but then there's personality traits. Like you can't change a person's personality. Well, like not well.
Like one example is someone was watching their family's kid, and she, what is it, a merry-go-round, like at the playground?
Mm-hmm. Like the spinning
the thing that gets wild.
Yeah, that
can injure, hurt.
Yeah.
She had the kid get off of it because her knowledge of that.
That's me. Yeah.
And it's like you're stopping that kid's fun and stopping the kid's experience.
Yeah.
Because of your possible traumatic experiences.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's like, why are you gonna hold that child back because of your own?
Yeah, because that's a thing made for children. Like you can supervise it so it doesn't get to the point to where it was
crazy.
Where whatever happened to you doesn't happen to the kid. But that's still like.
Maybe,
I think they should do.
Maybe not that specifically, because that is a kid's
that's a kid thing. But
I was on there.
Me too. But them hot ass slides in the summertime.
Them hot slides used to take the skin off your back if you went down to your shirt road.
Like, of course. What are you, pussy? If
I got right on that joint and just said, and then you burned yourself again. And then you just stand there for a little bit.
I'm taking a shower later.
I'll say this: if my kid gets older and we go to a park where it has a metal slide, and I'm like, it's not a good idea to go on the slide because it's gonna burn you.
It's gonna be hot.
You don't want to listen.
You're just going down the slide.
It is what it is. Yeah,
that's
my dad used to tell me this analogy. It's like, if your kid, you could tell your kid, like, don't touch the stove, it's hot.
Yeah.
But if they still go over there and touch the stove, that's on them at that point.
But think about the knowledge that they're experiencing. They're experiencing what heat is, a burn is. They're experiencing what pain feel like. The recovery from pain. What you have to do to stop the pain.
All that shit.
But what if you find that's a lot of knowledge that you can't teach a kid unless they experience it.
That's a super villain.
What you find out your kid can't feel pain. Like
he just looking at you, touching that motherfucker.
Yeah, because there's those kids that can't feel pain. I guess they're people who can't feel pain. They start out as kids and turn into people, but they just don't have that.
That sounds very.
That's a scary thought. That's a scary thought. Because how do you don't discipline that?
Well, they still can feel like, well, in most cases, some cases they have that empathy turned off, and in that case you're raising a sociopath. There's other things.
Well, yeah, like what point in their life what experience did they go through that turned that off?
Some sociopaths are born.
Yeah, there's traumatic events that can make someone less empathetic to the point where they can mimic a sociopath. But even then, if they had it, they'll always have it to a degree. Mm-hmm. It's just that there's some things that don't hold on a higher scale as a regular person. At least this is
what about complete disregard?
If it's complete disregard, then they probably never had it from jump. There's moments where you can ignore your empathy. There's moments where you can manipulate your empathy to make it seem like whatever is happening isn't as bad as it is societal wise. Mm-hmm. And that's how normal people can commit murder, or bad acts in general, is that they can rationalize in their own in their own mind that whatever they're doing is wrong. It's not.
There's a reason for everything. Yeah. It's about finding that reason, finding like what caused you, what took you to that edge to do that. What have you seen in your past experiences that allowed killing to be an answer? Yeah, like it's a lot of things that go into it and has to be felt out and learned, and that's only by letting that person who goes through it communicate, putting them in a safe space that they feel comfortable enough to communicate. And that's why I don't necessarily agree with prison, because it's grown up timeout.
Prison as a system doesn't work, at least the way we do it. We don't do it as a reform, even though that's what we call it. And we do it more as like you said, a timeout. Like, we hold them in this place. We don't. In most prisons, teach them any like new skills or new things, or give them any like guidance on why they did or why they shouldn't do.
At the very least, it's not enforced. Like the only guy or girl, the only people that come out better from prison is the people that actually want to.
Yeah, who are willing to actually do it. Like,
it's not like
it's not a full
prison is trying to help you.
It's not like you're going to school ignoring the lessons. It's literally like the lessons. You got to go find the lessons.
Now imagine somebody who's not interested in history gets put on a field trip to go to, let's say, Africa or Mesopotamia or somewhere that may even spark, not even history, but spark something inside of them that, okay, maybe I like traveling, maybe I like seeing different places, or maybe I want to live here. It's the experience and just being able to put people in different environments rather than putting them all together in one environment where it's just
the same energy.
Same people doing the same thing.
And it's to piggyback on that a little bit, it's like a lot of people in prison are people who are kids, or not kids, but they're adults now, but they were kids, they were in the hood, and they only seen certain things, and they never moved anywhere.
Misguided, neglected. Yeah.
So I do kind of agree with that. If you give somebody the opportunity to see something else or live something else, would that change them or change their mindset? Which we've seen, because people do go to jail and reform themselves. Yeah, it's not like Gucci Mane. It's not an impossible thing. Fucking Malcolm X. It's not an impossible thing to do.
It did. Martin Luther King go to jail too.
He did get arrested. I don't think he got arrested.
He was too busy with that white woman.
Oh, I wasn't gonna say nothing about that.
About what? It was about something that happened? He was with a white woman.
It's just like all our heroes just got an asterisk somewhere. It's just like, why can't we just have a fucking
what asterisk? Hey, people should.
Asterisk look like a star.
Yeah, that's not. There we go. We're not doing that. But why is that asterisk? Because he did something that was wrong. Like, it's like humans are humans, whether they make an impact on the world or not. If you dig deep enough, everybody have an
asterisk.
Have a skeleton in your closet. Like, just because Martin Luther King, just because people can highlight his flaws, doesn't make what he did any less important.
Is it wrong? Is it even wrong? If you were looking at it from the standard of another person's perspective, it could be wrong. But is it wrong?
What he did was wrong in his situation, but it doesn't affect how you should view him in the front of civil rights. Like, because he cheated on his wife doesn't make him any less of an activist for civil rights.
Is it even?
Does it make him a bad husband? Yes.
Under the rules of what?
Well, if you look at
religious.
Under the rules of even if you
Christianity,
even if you take it up under the rules of Christianity, he's still, even if it was under the rules of Christianity, he still made an agreement with this person that is his wife that he would not do certain things. That was one of the things he decided not to do.
Did he say that
in his vows?
Or is it an unwritten rule?
No, in marriage vows, it's for better or for worse. It's like loyalty, no infidelity. Like that stuff is in
infidelity is part of
marriage.
And
if you subscribe to it, then that's something you're agreeing. That's a contract you agree to whatever higher power you
to that person.
If he was if him and his wife were had an open relationship, or they were poly or something like that, then no, he didn't do anything wrong. But thinking they were Christians in the 50s and 60s, so I doubt that was the situation.
So my question is this: y'all have to answer to somebody. do you think y'all have to answer to somebody?
Like in the afterlife?
For what you do in your life. In this life.
Like when I die or
in this life. In life.
Oh, like in life in general?
No.
The only person I have to answer to in life in general is myself. And what I answer to myself about is what I'm willing to tell other people I'm gonna do. So,
but even if it doesn't work out that way, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong. I guess sure you're not wrong for yourself, but there's that thing called empathy. So so you feel like, so at the end of the day, technically, sure, in life, even if you think about it and there is an afterlife or there isn't, at the end of the day you can say none of this stuff matters. You can do whatever you want to do.
Let's keep it in this life, because this is fact. We're here.
Right.
Yeah.
We're here.
So then, if we're just talking about the here and now, if you do something wrong or that can be perceived as wrong to somebody else's life, unless you're under the guise that only you really exist, if you understand that other people are having other experiences, then you should feel some type of way about your impact on somebody else's experience. Like that should be something you should take into account with your actions that you have.
But that's getting you outside of yourself.
That's getting you outside of yourself because things exist outside of you.
Right.
Yeah, of course. Right.
And if you're fine with that idea,
with action and reaction.
Yeah, if you're fine with that idea that stuff exists outside of you, even though it's just you, like this is just all you have of yourself. If you've come to terms with the fact that stuff exists outside of you, then that stuff should be taken into account with everything you're doing in your life.
Treat life as you would treat yourself, because you are life.
Yes. And if you wouldn't want that thing, or you wouldn't want someone to do something to you, then why would you do something to the next person?
I wouldn't take anything as wrong though. Like that person's not wrong for doing it, because what is wrong? There's stuff that I wouldn't do because it just doesn't entice me, or like it doesn't
that's a different
interest.
That's a different.
But there is no wrong. Even if you even saying something and not living up to what you say is not wrong, unless you say it's wrong.
Yeah, but
and you can only wrong yourself. You can't wrong the next person.
You're saying basically, you're only wrong in a situation where you feel like you were wrong. So like if somebody like.
Well, he's saying there is no wrong. Because
you're saying there's no wrong.
It's just existence.
It just is. It just is.
Okay.
If it happens, it happens. It's not right or wrong unless you put a right and wrong to it. Is it right or wrong for you? You can't say, "Oh, this isn't right for you," because you're thinking about it from a perspective of yourself. It's not right for me.
But it can be right for the next person, though, right?
Exactly.
So
So their objective truth is, it just is.
I guess in that situation, it's going off of general consensus.
But
general consensus, murder is wrong, rape is wrong. You see what I'm saying? General, I guess.
My sense is, objectively, it is. Murder is as it is.
So is it
okay?
Well, is it? So do you think that there's a positive and a negative, like in actions? Or
you could have a perspective of negativity or positivity in actions.
Well, it's positive and negative energy, so there's got to be positive and negative.
And it's all about how you look at it. If you look into the negatives, that's your thinking.
If you murder Hitler, is that wrong? Not necessarily.
that's a moral thing,
and that's really what it's based off of. Right and wrong. It's morals.
It's morals. But that's the thing. So even if you were to view everything from just your existence, right? Even if you were, let's say if we were to go back in time to a time where humans didn't have separate languages. Like it was. Like the only communication, the only communication you had was through your actions or through what you can show, like through hunter gatherers or foragers, actions like that. There was still in a society where there was almost no such thing as true communication like we have now. Even then, I don't even know if this would count as true communication, just because I'm telling you something. because people hear and understand words differently. But even in those moments, there was still always some level of a moral understanding. It might not be the same as it is now.
Like, don't steal your berries.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah,
but is it really stealing? If I see it, just because you picked the berries doesn't mean they're yours.
If you see something that gives you a reaction, like a reaction of either anger or sadness or happiness, then that thing happened, and you perceived it as whatever is happening there as being positive or negative. And even without being taught that, you still have that feeling. Like if you had never taught like your daughter the understanding of stealing, what stealing is, but you were to hand her something and then take it away from her, she would have a reaction from that.
She'd be angry or sad.
Like, even without being taught that stealing.
Yeah, that's natural. That's like natural reaction.
But why is that a natural reaction? Yeah. Like if everything that is happening to you is just encapsulated to your experiences, your events, and you, why is this thing that you haven't been taught, or this thing that you were given and now taken away? Why is that? Why does that now
causing a reaction?
Yeah. Why did she think that was hers, and why does she think that now that you took it back that it should still be hers?
Emotional attachment.
Who taught her that? Like, if you could let stuff, I'll correlate this to religion, and this is Heaven's Gates. Okay. If you can let in and let go without attachment, that's truly being open. You are always welcome in my life. You are always welcome to go in my life. I will treat you the way I would treat myself.
But, okay, with that being said though, you wouldn't purposely be harmful to yourself in any way. Would you agree with that?
I wouldn't purposely be harmful. Like, to yourself. I'm not gonna go and jump and land on my knees and crack them.
Yeah, like you wouldn't stab yourself, or something like that. Would you
punch yourself
or like purposely?
I mean, yeah, but not. I don't know if I mean.
Like, purposely, like
with intent to harm.
Yeah, like would you
pass whatever this thing is that makes you stop from really hurting yourself?
If I'm emotionally attached to something,
possibly.
Yes. Okay. If someone makes me so, like, I'm fed up with, and why are you fed up? Because you're emotionally attached to something that is happening in your life, rather than just being okay with it just being as it is. This is happening to me. All right.
I've never thought of that. Your perspective on life is just never. That doesn't even register to me until you just like really.
It's being outside of feelings.
Yeah, that's
when you can become numb, you could have a whole different view on your feelings and emotions, in your how you like. If you can objectively like look at yourself and how you move through, and you get to that by looking at your past and seeing how you reacted in your past.
You can change
the lessons that you can learn from it. Yeah, like how you can turn negative, what you perceive as negative, to positive, and then coming to terms is it happened to me because I learned, so on and so forth. That is the reason. Because it was an experience to teach you, to grow you,
to get you to this. Like, okay, I kind of get what you like. Like I say a lot. I don't know if I said it on the podcast before, but like I've made mistakes and I've wasted time in my past. I feel like, but in turn with that, I've learned a lot, gathered a lot of information. So was it really wasted time or mistakes if I learned and got better from those situations?
And that's turning negative, wasting time, to positive. I learned.
Right. Okay.
And that's what I perceive as negative and positive.
Okay. Right. That's fair. Okay. That was fucking. I don't even know where we at right now.
That was good.
Yeah, that was.
I don't think we're gonna get through all these questions.
We not.
That's fine. We done got some. We didn't. got some info.
You want to hit the top song?
So I'm not gonna get into I'm gonna just kind of group these together.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could breeze through.
You got a few songs that I know we talked about your project and stuff like that, but you've done features, you've collabed, you've done a bunch of different stuff throughout your career since you started rapping. One song that I just want you to just dive into a little bit is Coyote Lovely. More so the music video, the song both put together. I thought it was very interesting. I thought it was beautifully shot. I thought it was very intriguing. I think that's one of probably my second favorite song of yours.
Really?
That's probably my second favorite song of yours. Can you walk me through that, the video? Well, first the song, then the video.
I could do the video because I'd have to read the lyrics.
Okay, got you.
The video, what I wanted to visually express in the video is sides of my perspective of right and wrong. One side I'm eating cake, and one side I'm eating an orange. And I guess it's more so not even about right and wrong, but wants and needs. Okay. I want this cake, but do I need this cake?
Okay.
You more so need an orange than you need cake.
Right.
Yeah. Because it hydrates you and it provides nutrients that you really need. Cake is a filler.
Okay.
So
it's
that's
something you desire.
Yeah. So I was trying to open eyes and closed eyes for the fact of your eyes, people say, your eyes is bigger than your stomach. Things can entice and put a spell on your eyes. Ooh, this look good. This banana bread right here. It look good, but do I I more so need the banana than I need the bread.
Okay. Right. So why is it in that form when you could have just got a banana?
If I close my eyes and really honed in on what my body needs, that is, you will be more free in your life. Rather than your wants holding you to where your wants need you to be in order to obtain that want.
Okay, that's dope. And that's deeper than me for for y'all that don't know. Now you know. His music takes you on a journey every time. It's not the shit you gonna hear on the radio. You're gonna feel something and learn something when you listen to Wave Williams. I've learned that in the time that I've known him. Well, we know each other 2-3 years now.
2019.
Yeah, so 2 years. Yeah. All 19. I forgot about that song. That's crazy.
That's my shit. That's top 3 right there. That's top 3.
That's crazy. I forgot about that song. I guess I'll put that in the description. I guess.
Plugging yourself in somebody else's interview. Very Steve thing to do.
Hey, I respect the hustle. People gotta hear that song.
So
it is a nice song.
Speaking of, I don't like it that much. As much as other people do.
It creeps into your mind, into where you just want to.
It was very.
I'm still saying this.
I'll say that it was very foreshadowing of what I became after that, how I went after. It was very foreshadowing of the attitude I took and how I wanted to go going forward. So for that, it was what it was. And it did the job.
Like you said before, to piggyback off of you, to people who aren't sure or are artists or maybe up in limbo or just any facet of your life, if you could, writing music or just writing in general, and you're trying to put out your the most factual information either about you or how you perceive life, you are going to write your life into existence.
Okay.
And however however you express your creativity, whether it be videos or music or drawing or whatever the arts, like
what you put into your art will come.
Yeah,
I can co-sign that for sure. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Creators.
I could come off braggadocious sometimes in some of my songs, but a lot of that is it. I don't know. A lot of that is me coming from shitty places and realizing who I am and realizing what I want out of life and what I deserve out of life. Mm-hmm. So the braggadocio is not me like just I guess I do think I'm the shit, I guess, but like realistically I don't truly believe that from where I'm coming from, but I'm trying to manifest that.
Okay, so you're putting it in music, so when you go back and listen to it, it's giving you that energy that you want to hone in on to become. All right.
Like you told me this too. I think it was like a year ago. It was a song that I wrote, and you were just like, I like the song, but you said this, and you're putting this into the ether, into the universe. Mm-hmm. And I took that, and I was like, he's right. Mm-hmm. I need to start not change my creative process, because if it's a sad song, that's it should be. That's what it is. But try to convert it into positivity, so I'm not putting negativity into the world. Yeah. Regardless of the premise of the song, I'm not putting negativity into the world.
Artists, y'all be calling for this.
Yeah.
Like what was it, Mac Miller in 100 Grand Kids, where he was like, "What's God without a little OD?" I'm chilling, and then he go out like that. And it wasn't the first song he talks about like ODing or drug use and stuff like that. And then that's what ended up happening, right? I think about it enough.
But that's the beauty. That's the beauty of life.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
I guess that is like
manifest something.
Come on,
that
Kanye.
That is in a way that is
beautiful and.
I'm not going off Kanye.
In that way, it is poetic if you look at it.
If you look at it from the perspective.
Hold on, why do you refuse Kanye?
Oh shit!
You have a perspective on Kanye?
I have an idea of what Kanye is willing and not willing to do for the culture, or at least I'm under the impression, at least from his actions, which is the only thing I can go off of, is his actions and his words that he's telling everybody.
Okay, let me ask you this.
I don't have a full idea.
This is his question. Was slavery a choice?
Slavery was a choice in the way of, I guess you could say, for the length and time we were in there, you could say there. Well, no, this is what I'll say. There were slave rebellions, unsuccessful slave rebellions, right? Right. So under the guise that we could have massed together as a full unit of all the slaves were able to do such and such, then yes, it would have been a choice that we stayed in that way. But it wasn't as if slavery stayed for 200 years with no pushback from us. Yeah. Or like nobody trying to get free, nobody trying to kill slave masters and
that statement comes off
and running the farm. It kind of spits on
those
how do you express? Okay, when you have these thoughts, and you want to express them, you have to express them. Yeah. However it comes out is how it comes out. He wasn't wrong. Slavery was a choice. It was a matter of life and death. Yeah. So
you chose.
We are part of. We are life. Right. Yeah. So it's not much of a choice. Yeah. You had the choice to jump off the boat.
Yeah. And some people did.
Yeah. But yeah, I look at it like this, right? Can you? It's like every day you're hit with an obstacle, and you decide to either fold or overcome the obstacle. Sure, it's a choice, but it's almost as if you're deciding to live, like that's literally the choice that most people make 9 out of 10 times is deciding to live. Whether it's in the worst of circumstances or the best of circumstances, 9 out of 10 people are going to choose to live. Would it have been maybe more beneficial for the people that came after them if some people decided, like, I'm willing to put potentially the generation after me for the chance at a better life than for my life currently to stay the same and me to survive? Yes, with that's a choice that they decided to make. But even then, that's under the assumption that they had all the same tools at their disposal to, like, hindsight is always 2020, but it's really 2020 when you have knowledge, when you have the full idea of what you can do and what you're able to do. They were working with a half-empty pot. Yeah. Like there were certain things that we had to sneak to be able to do, and even then, that's not all of us. Like you weren't allowed to learn. Yeah. You couldn't read. Mm-hmm. Like if you could show that you had basic math skills, like
the odds were stacked up.
Yeah, that was your life on the line. Yeah. So it was like they're already at a deficit. So to say that they made a conscious choice to be like, I'm gonna stay down bad.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna continue to be down bad is almost like
you're spitting on them.
Not even spitting on them. You're putting yourself in their shoes when you never took the step.
Right.
So it's like
I'll say this: I've thought about sacrificing myself for the greater good of life. Mm-hmm. What I came to, and that's suicidal.
Yeah, technically, and martyr.
Yeah, in fact, I would be contradicting myself. Because I'm vegan. Mm-hmm. So I want all life to be able to live the fullest life, that they can live. Mm-hmm. From ants to elephants. Mm-hmm. So to bacteria even. Single cell organisms. But it's living, it's life. So me taking my own life to try and teach people that life, like we are life, so we have to, we are life.
Yeah.
We are part of the whole. We are part of the whole of even people universe. Could be, the universe, God, however you want to slice it. It would be contradicting to take my own life to try and teach people to save life. So being vegan kind of saved my own life in a way.
Without having the
because killing isn't an option.
Right.
So killing myself isn't an option.
Right.
Yeah.
So you choose to help in other ways. Okay.
Yes.
Dope. Okay. I like how we've organically went through everything.
Yeah,
I feel like we've organically.
Have we covered much?
Majority of the shit we pretty much. I mean, that right there, we pretty much just self-explanatory.
All that.
I don't know. I mean, you said you got some stuff on the way.
Yeah.
Do you have any new music specifically on the way, or are you just taking your time and just going with it?
I'm planning. Trying to develop a way for these songs to reach the fullest potential, because I got songs with you, I got songs with Incense, Coda Sevilla, Jay Aquarios,
the fam.
Yeah. I got songs with Fresh the Poet, my man Pelty in Florida.
Shout out Florida.
I'm working with a lot of producers in the 716. Jay Lamar, Eminent, Morrow, Air King, CG. Shout out
to
everybody.
He's dope.
So it's a lot of
collaboration.
A lot of collaborating, a lot of work getting done. Shout out Tony Boy. Shout out my man Zach Neff. Mixing Masters, Spencer Vega, my man Rich.
That's my boy.
Yeah, it's a fact. So I'm coming into my own of being able to expand my horizon from being in my basement with myself, having really no features on my first album. I put features for the fact of their voices were used on the song. So it's really because I like to support people that I'm close to and who are also in my community. So we working. We got a lot of work.
Do you got anything else planned other than music that you got going on coming up soon, or are you just focused on just living in your music at the moment?
I'm slowly developing a book.
Ooh.
Okay. I do. I'm working on art as well.
Nice.
Okay.
And just living.
That's the bottom line. Yeah.
Books, art, and living.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Facts.
Can't get no better than that.
I like eating. I'm trying to. I'm trying to go from eating everything like banana bread.
Yeah.
To becoming like just eating raw food. Just raw fruits and vegetables. So I mean, it's a hard process, but
going back in time.
Going back to earth, man.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Back to earth.
Would you reckon that? Would you reckon it?
That means it's almost time to
Talk.
wrap this up. Yeah.
Talk.
So you reckon?
Do you reckon? Would you recommend veganism to?
Is that what it's called?
Veganism, yeah.
Oh, really? That sounded weird.
Well, when you I guess the act of
it's veganism.
Yeah, like not wearing leather, not wearing silk.
Silk?
Silk
go crazy.
Yeah,
silk is from
spiders.
Yeah, spider webs, right?
Silkworm.
Is it silk? Oh yeah, it is silkworm.
Shit.
I don't even eat honey.
Why am I thinking spiders?
I thought it was
It's a lot. There's red dye that comes from beetles.
Yeah, I knew that.
Cows are raped to make milk because they don't naturally produce milk.
Yeah, unless they're pregnant.
If you know what,
I didn't know that.
if you know
That's
female,
humans.
you know all female. You know
They don't produce. Well,
in
most
you have
cases,
to be pregnant to produce milk.
Sometimes females can produce enough of the hormone
afterwards.
to like it. No, even before. There's some. There's been cases at least of females who haven't been pregnant being able to lactate,
Really?
but that's rare.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's definitely not
majority,
enough.
yeah.
It's definitely not enough for us to be having milk like regularly from cows without doing whatever they're doing.
I legitimately did not know that cows couldn't produce milk.
I didn't know that either until I looked into it.
Yeah,
But,
animals.
that's crazy.
All mammals who produce milk only
Need to
produce
be
milk.
pregnant
To
feed their young
after pregnancy. So yeah, if a cow is lactating, they have to be pregnant. So
And somebody could be, a smart aleck and be like, oh, but I'm a young bull or whatever. But really,
ignorant nigga. Ignorant nigga.
I mean, in all honesty, man, if we are life, how can we express that?
But
Us being as we are.
There's always a cycle in life, though. Before we jump into a whole nother boat, but what if one day, right, we find out that plants have some form of consciousness? Does that mean to fully?
Well, you don't think they do?
Well, I'm saying in a way that it's like, so imagine if you found out, right, that apple you picked or before you
I think
picked
apples
it,
should be dropped before they're ready to eat.
Yeah. So you view that as a natural death, that's the natural death of the apple,
And
then you can
to eat the apple and take the seeds and put them back into the ground, you're getting more life rather than chopping a leg off, eating the leg, and what you gonna do with the bone? Stick it in the ground, expect it to grow.
But
you're not getting more life. You just getting
technically
you are putting life into the ground.
Yeah, because
so what you gonna do with the bone? What you eat the leg?
There's organisms that so if from the viewpoint of a non-conscious being, at least to the degree that humans are, animals eat other animals. That's a fact, right? Their bodies don't they don't stay around forever. Like, there's scavengers that come and clean up what's left of the flesh, and then the bones do get broken down by bacteria, like the one-celled organisms we talk about. Like, they eat that, and then they die, and then they go into the soil.
Energy is spread.
Yeah, and then that goes into the plants, and then
when we naturally die and we get buried into the earth, our body becomes nutrients for the earth and other living organisms.
Yeah,
that's fair. Eating life and then just for life to eat you.
Yeah,
that's a fair one-on-one. That's eye for eye.
It's a full cycle.
Killing other things that walk this earth. That I don't see where that's fair. Where that's eye for eye.
I get what you're saying.
But it's under the guise of, are humans not animals?
Cows, chickens, fish, salmon, haddock. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking sharks.
Yeah.
cows, chickens, fish, pigs.
Yeah.
Which one? They eat us
pigs.
live. We're on their. We're their prey.
If humans weren't built the way they were built and congregated the way they congregated, we would fall under some level of the food chain. Like
we have. Hold on. Let's stay factual. We are who we are for a reason.
We are who we are now for a reason. Like there were a time before we are to where we are now, where we were on the pecking order. Yeah, like there were animals that killed and ate humans.
So this is what our ancestors paid away for us to be able to
for this moment right now,
and because we're not necessarily surviving, we're living.
We
have a grocery store right down there and over there. Mm-hmm. We're not fighting to survive, other than getting money.
Which is,
but that's the new hunt and gathering.
Yeah, we have all opportunity to have this whole street just apple trees, orange trees, lemon trees. Why don't we? Capitalism? No, I don't know.
Just a general.
We have the opportunity to really become comfortable in this life, to where we could just walk down the street and eat. And
you can't even pick. You're not even supposed to, like. Obviously, maybe not Buffalo. We don't have agriculture like that, but like in ATL and like just in like the Midwest and shit, you can't even pick fruits off trees, which is kind of like why like why can't, like, that's an illegal thing to do.
I say this, Dakota, when you go to a store to buy a plant, you're paying for the pot, you're not paying for the plant. When you're going to buy seeds, you're paying for the package, you're not paying for the seeds. This is what we're given naturally. To put a price on that is lack of. I can't even put words to it. It's just what is right now. It's not what always will be.
And I mean, we get charged for water, which is not.
We get charged for it
and we
certain
have
certain types,
and it's on us to be able to take what we need rather than what we want, because we have Earth is on our side. We have enough for everyone if we take what we need.
In what sense do you mean take?
Why should we have a whole pantry of food, but the next person barely has a grain of rice?
He's saying you shouldn't have more than what you need to survive.
Right.
And then everybody would have something.
But I understand we are in a time where we're coming from surviving and having to get all that we can.
Right.
We have to realize, and we are in the new millennium. Mm-hmm. There has to come a time, I would hope sooner rather than later, that we realize, okay, we have to, I guess you could say, empathy, or just have a perspective of the next person. Mm-hmm. How would you treat the next person like yourself? I don't want to starve. I don't want to have so much to where other people can't have enough to even not bare bones.
I am not disagreeing with you, but I want to go back to your point from earlier. Mm-hmm. I was talking about empathy. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't that, isn't that kind of going against what you was originally saying?
Everything is as it is.
Yeah.
I mean, today
technically
it is as it is.
Again, that's why I don't want people to starve, guys.
Yeah, that's why I'm sure.
I'm sure
in Africa that sounds like you saying otherwise.
I've talked. I used to be a boom bap rapper and shit like that. So I used to when I first started rapping.
I want to hear some boom bap.
Where's your Pimp the Butterfly at?
But no, I wasn't that good. No, I wasn't on that.
Yeah, that's why I said we are where we are at, and I understand it. And I understand it is what it is right now. That's why I said there comes a time where we will realize what we want, our wants and needs.
That is what it is. Shouldn't be. Is what you say. Like
so what?
At some
what
point,
we are right now.
Yeah. At some
we're
point,
in the midst
realize.
we're in the midst of growth. In knowledge.
Do you think so? Do you
yes.
think we're growing?
Of course.
Because in my opinion, like I don't think society's growing. I think we're just like getting worse in a lot of ways.
I read. You know, I didn't do the research, but I'm gonna just blurt it out just for other people to do the research. They said the largest milk company filed for bankruptcy. Ooh. So it's growth. It's growth in this world. It's hitting growth if those who aren't growing can't. I mean, they don't see the growth that's happening. It's just it comes from the underground. How you going? How the roots grow? They grow on the ground first. So if you one with earth, you get the exclusive.
And we did talk. We had Incense on the show. We talked about this with her briefly. I don't know if this is gonna come out before or after that, but
this will come out after probably.
Yeah. After. Okay. Yeah.
Just because we're speaking on it right now.
Yeah. So I guess it'll have to be after now. But we discussed with her, and she was just saying like along the lines of, "You can't." I lost my thought.
Well, we're getting to the end.
I lost my thought.
So you either find it or we get out of here.
We were talking about. We were talking about how people, a lot more people, whether it's organically or just because it's popular, a lot of people are getting more in touch with the earth and spirituality and the universe.
Oh yeah,
and shit like
I remember that.
Yeah, we discussed that a little bit. Yeah,
I remember that.
And
I
like
was part of that.
Coming down from the high.
Yeah, and it was like again, granted. Some of it is because it's popular now.
Of course. Just like comics and stuff. It's always a popular culture.
But I guess in the long run it's still a good thing because people are
more people will be introduced to it and they'll pick up whatever they pick up from it.
So I guess that is growth as well.
Pick up your local vegan banana bread at Lexington Co-op.
Yeah, he brought banana bread.
Yeah.
Too bad I don't eat any, but it was a great gesture.
Yeah, it was a great gesture. Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Support your local grocery store, the vegan grocery store in North Tonawanda.
Again,
all vegan.
Every time we interview an artist, I always say this: kids own your beats.
Yeah, so yeah, do your best
on your beats,
own your shit.
Yeah, basically.
We've been running a long time.
This isn't an episode, right?
Yeah, it's not. I guess it does.
I was gonna say, what's today's episode number? This is an episode. This is
the next episode.
So yeah, I guess this is more of an. This was an interview. It wasn't an episode, but it's a
long interview.
Yeah, we got a wave.
I don't know how long. And I every time the camera stopped, I didn't read why it stopped.
You could just put this as
I don't know why it was stopping, so I don't know.
I don't know why it was stopping either, but as long as you caught it, like
does it have is it a limit on how long?
It is a limit.
It's 27 minutes maybe.
Yeah, 27.
So that's why I was doing it. Okay.
But
who's getting it in?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add before we close this interview episode hybrid out?
Sure. To everyone listening, to y'all, to myself, don't be afraid to be who you are, to express your thoughts. They're there for a reason, to either teach you and guide you, to help you grow. Love yourself enough to be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the spoken word.
Well, that's beautiful.
Yeah. I don't know what that.
That's a sign. Yeah, that's a symbol. That's a symbol.
Right.
I'm gonna leave all his links to all his stuff, his music, his Instagram. I know you said you're not really on Instagram no more, but I'm gonna put it down there anyway.
I'm
just taking a little break. Yeah, I understand. So I'm gonna put all his info in the link down below in the bio down below. I said bio again.
Yeah, you said bio.
Biography.
I just want to say real quick before I have Rick close out. Wave, thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
It's been a great episode. Appreciate it. You got all the people out there thinking.
Yeah, really people thinking. Yeah, and this is how selfless of a person he is. This was his interview, and he turned it into something for y'all. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all took everything he said into account. And just be mindful, love yourself, like you said, and
real nigga shit.
Facts, yeah. And try to, remember that? and try your best to love other people. But I'm gonna let Rick close it out real quick.
Should I let them know about the other thing, or that's gonna be a whole different thing?
What's the other thing? You can say it. I'll just cut it.
Apple.
We gonna do something separate for that.
You wanna do something separate?
I want to do something separate.
All right, listen to the elevator music.
Yeah, thank you, freaky.
All right, guys, this was another. I guess this is another interview episode of the R&P Podcast. We appreciate everybody who stuck around, especially because this is a longer one, but longer content. I can't see you being upset if you watch us regularly. Like, I can't be like, I like these guys, but in short bursts where you could, but that'd be mean. But this was a fun interview to do. I feel like every time we do something, we get better at it, whether it be episodes or interviews. I feel like we got a lot more out of this interview, especially with the guest that's willing to I guess help us get a lot more out of it.
I can do a soundbite for y'all.
After the fact, no, appreciate it.
All right, I got you. All right, ready?
Yeah.
R&P Podcast vibrations coming to your ears.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Let's
go to there. Yes, there we go.
You gotta put that in the drop. But we appreciate everybody for listening. Check out the audio will be on Spotify. The video will be on YouTube. Feel free to put anything in the comments of the YouTube.
We got a lot more dope shit for you.
We got a lot.
Rick and I keep plotting. We keep making it happen.
So if you're not subscribed and you're watching this, please subscribe. If you're watching this and you got something you want to say to us about the interview, how you feel about what we talk about, leave a comment. Leave a comment on the Instagram. Leave a comment on the Facebook. Leave a comment somewhere. Let us know that you care about what we're talking about, or you got a feeling about what we're talking about. We'll
talk back. We will talk back to you. We're not Hollywood yet.
But now, this was a great episode. We really appreciate it, and we'll see y'all boys later.
And we love y'all. Peace.
One love.
Bye.
I need me some cake for my birthday. This shit moist. Do like my shit every Thursday, one with the earthquake. Sweating this blood in my shit in the worst case. This is my life and I lie with the bird flakes. On in my efforts with good, with love. The hood is rough, you choose your tough. I screwed enough, the handle's broken, I move me up. I cruise myself, I move these trucks. Man, I'm telling you, it's all love.